we go. I know we are live. I'm super excited about today's podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about strategies. But before, because it's Blue Monday, I'm going to play some funky tunes. Oh, yeah. Woo. Let's give it some vibes. Yeah. That's right. If this doesn't make you smile, nothing will. Yeah, kicking it off with style. It's the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. God, I like that tune. It got me in such a groovy mood. I'm going to play it again. Let's have some clap-alongs. Yeah. I don't want to bust the moves. This is how you record a podcast. Have a little groovy in your seat. Oh, if you're standing. But welcome to the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. Yes, it is Monday, the day we record the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. Of course, you could be listening to it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You could be recording. You could be listening to this live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or of course, you can be listening to recording. And today we're going to be talking about 8 proven strategies to get speaking gigs in a recession. Oh yeah, feeling that vibe again. Yeah. Woo. 8 strategies to get booked in a recession. Yeah. Fun time. Because there's always a demand for speakers to get paid. So you too can secure some speaking gigs during a recession. That's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to give you 8. How many? 8. How many? 8. That's right. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 strategies that you can implement. Now, some of them are going to be obvious. You're going to be, oh, yeah, God, Elliot, come on. It's so obvious. But let's remember that what is obvious to you isn't obvious to someone else. The other thing, it's always good to be reminded. It's always good to be reminded. And of course, for some people, it might be landing fresh. Well, I'd love to hear from everybody listening to this podcast, whenever you're listening to this podcast, wherever you're listening to this podcast, is what is the one strategy you are going to apply, implement straight away? That's what I want to hear from you. Okay, so if you're listening, watching this as I'm recording it right here, right now, put it in the comments. And if you're listening and watching it another time, put it in the comments. And if you're not sure where to put the comments, send them an email. Send me an email. Just let me know. We'll put it in the comments, our email. And just send me an email. Say, Elliot, this is the one strategy I'm going to do. Now, of course, if you are enjoying the Public Speaking Expert Podcast, Season 2, all about influence, OMG, Season 2, over 100 episodes recorded. If you're enjoying it, why not like, subscribe, and of course, leave us a review, whether you're listening on Apple, on Spotify, on any of the major channels. Send us some love. And when you send us some love and you send me a picture, I'm going to send you some love. I'm going to give you access to our very own 125 tips, right? How you can thrive and monetize your speaking. So that is coming on the website to be a downloadable, but I'm going to send it to you to download first. How would you like that? Pow, in the house. So make sure you do that, okay? So for those of you who do or don't know me, my name is Elliot Kay, and I have been in this space for over a decade. Someone called me the speaker whisperer the other day. I was like, wow, she's like, you're full of wisdom. You've got all these nuggets. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I've got well over 10,000 hours delivering speaking opportunities. We've won awards in the last 12 months. I'm the founder of the Speaker Awards. I train speakers to deliver incredible speaking. I help speakers get speaking opportunities. We work with influencers, people who want to be authorities and known in their space. That's who we work with, which is why I'm going to share with you 8 major speaking strategies that you can implement. Yes, that you can implement so you can get speaking as well. Here we go. We've got Rachel Gold. Hey, Rachel, lovely to see you as always. Great to see you. And of course, let's get going. I know I keep talking about these 8 things, but you know what? Before we get going, I'm just going to do this once more. I'm going to do this once more. So if you're ready, here it comes. Let's get grooving. Go Riverside with your tunes. Yeah. 8 strategies coming at you. How are we gonna get you? No fretting, only speaking to getting. You see, should be the wrap up. I definitely should have been a rapper. Definitely should have been a rapper. Here we go. So, number one. Now, I know for some of you this is going to be obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. Network, network, network. Don't sit there and wait. Where are the speaking opportunities? No one's booking me. Why isn't anyone reaching out? Where's that person knocking on my door, delivering a suitcase full of cash, going, please, will you speak for me? Network, people, right? Reach out to the people in your industry, network with them. Go find out what they do, where they do it, like as in what do they do? You know what they do, but where do they hang out? Where do they comment? What groups are they in? Where do they drink, eat? Where do they hang out? Right? Go networking, go to gigs, industry specific gigs, because we all know that networking can be a bit of a waste of time if you're going to the wrong networking. But when you're going to the right networking, then it's not a waste of time. So networking with your industry peers, with your industry people will help you get seen, heard, noticed, start to build the relationships. I talk a lot about building relationships for speaking gigs, right? Go to the events, go to conferences, then go speak to the event organizer, speak to their team, build a relationship, right? Don't be what's the word? Don't be a douchebag, but be nice, offer to support, offer to help, offer to speak. That's one of the ways to do it. So, of course, networking is still one of the most powerful tools as a speaker you have to your disposal, right? So, networking, look in your local area, depending on what you do, of course, look in your local area. What is there for you? Where is there for you to go that has your industry? What are the events they're putting on? What are the conferences they're putting on? Do they run webinars? Do people run webinars in your industry? Well, guess what? The people attending it are also going to be in your industry, or the people running it are going to be potentially want speakers. There's all kinds of ways to do it. So networking is a huge one. The other one I always bang on about, because this is so important when it comes down to it, is your online presence. Last week, we did a whole webinar about how to use LinkedIn to land high-pay speaking opportunities. And we had lots of people on it, and so many of them are they had light bulbs, not because they're not established or not because they're not getting paid, because a lot of speakers miss a trick when it comes down to speaking. And the thing is, everything is a reflection of you. So have a speaker-specific website. A lot of people don't have that. If you love writing as well as speaking, or you might, as a speaker, you might like vlogging, have a vlog of your journey on your speaker website. And of course, share that on the channels. Use your social media accounts to communicate to the potential bookers what's in it for them to book you. What is the problem you solve? What is your expertise? You've got to be a content machine. This is essential, right? So this is key. You've got to showcase your expertise, and social media allows you to do that with if any cost, in the sense of having to pay for it. So your website, your images, your videos, your posts, your newsletters, all of these things are all towards getting you booked, right? So please make sure you're utilizing them. Excuse me, right? Now, here's a slightly controversial one, and I know for a lot of speakers this won't sit well, but you don't have to do all of them, but do some of them, right? And here it is. Offer a free or low-cost speaking opportunity with you, right? Consider free so you can raise your profile, right? So then you need to decide, will this raise my profile, and or can I sell? If you can use it to raise your profile and get in front of the right audience, which will then lead to paid speaking opportunities, that's probably a good move. If you can sell in the way, well, obviously you can sell packages or services, but even if you can get them onto your database, then of course there's an opportunity to sell. Now, I know a lot of speakers are like, no, I only get paid to speak, and that's fair enough. But during a recession, during a downturn, we need to think creatively about how to maximize speaking opportunities. And one of them is to offer free or low fee. And you make it clear, look, normally my fee is 5,000. I'm doing it for 500 on that condition. And of course, use it to get fresh testimonial, fresh footage as well. So that's another one I want you to think about. I know it's slightly controversial, but it works. Please remember, it works. Now, please remember that if you're not churning out content, right, if your online presence, if your websites and all that aren't portraying you in the way you should be portrayed, then someone else sits, and they're more likely to win the work, and they're more likely to be doing the network. So I just want you to keep that in mind as well. So strategy number 1, networking. Strategy number 2, strong online presence. Standard strategy number 3, offer free or low cost speaking opportunities. Number 4, it's also in the post I put today. So if you're not quite catching up with it, look at the post I put today, because the 8 are there as well. So the other one I want to talk about, and if you're listening to this on a recording, and then it's on my LinkedIn. Number 1, the next one I want to talk about is be flexible on your pricing. Again, we're talking about during a recession. We're talking about during a downturn. We're talking about where a lot of companies are tightening their budget, where a pound has to go or a dollar has to go further than it's ever gone before. So let's say you're £5,000. That's what I typically charge, £5,000 to speak, right? When they say, well, look, budgets are tight, this or this or this, I'll do it for £1,000. Could you do it for £1,000? There's ways to work around that, and I'm happy to guide you through them, that will allow you to do it for £1,000 and still recoup the £4,000 later, or have opportunities to recoup it. And I'll give you a quick example, right? Let's say someone comes, Elliot, I really want to speak for you. If you do want me to speak for you, reach out, let me know, because I'll come speak to you. What's your fee? I'm like, £5,000. I'm like, okay, great. Look, our budget is 1,000. Can you do it for that? It's like, you know what? Let me have a think about that. Okay, do you know what? Typically, typically a £5,000 speaking opportunity would get you 60 minutes with me. So what I'll do is I'll do a 45-minute version. I won't do anything in the sense of handouts or anything like that. So my prep time is less. But also what I would like is a second opportunity to be booked in the next 12 months, right? And then we can talk about my fee again then. So you make it a condition to booking you. So it's about getting creative. Now, if they're like, look, this is all, we probably won't book. We've got a policy of not booking speakers for more than 3 years once they've spoken for us. I'm like, okay, fair enough. That is fair enough. So what you could do, for example, is you have to decide if it's worth your time or £1,000. Or maybe they can do payment plans, or maybe you can do on the condition that you have a meeting with them afterwards to discuss your other services. But be flexible is key here. Being flexible is key, right? So networking, building strong online presence, being flexible, right? Offering free or low cost speaking engagement. And we've talked about that just now, just being flexible with your pricing when and if possible. For example, I'll give you a real example from what I did last year. So I was booked to speak at a university in Belfast. Oh yeah, international travel, baby. It took me all of 1 hour from where I live here in the UK to go to Belfast, because it's not that far. Now, they paid me probably not my normal fee, nowhere near, if you know what I'm saying. But because I really wanted to do it, and because they've booked me several times now, I'm going to book me several more times, and now I'm going to be shared across departments, it's probably worthwhile me taking that hit, because I'm building relationships. So instead of course, they paid my expenses and my flight. So early on last year in February, I did 1 gig from them that was virtual. And of course, they paid me for that. And then they paid me for last year. So twice in 1 year, I got 2 bookings for them. Not my normal fee, not a lot more work, but I still got paid. So just be creative, okay? And be flexible. That's all I ask of you, is be creative and be flexible. Hi, Maria. Lovely to see you as well. Next one. Number 5 of my 8. So show your value, okay? This is key. If you want to get booked, and this also goes back to your postings, and it goes back to a lot of what I talk about when I work with people, is you've got to demonstrate the why you. How are you being more giraffe? How are you standing out? How are you different from the rest? This is really important. If people cannot see the value of booking you, you just won't get booked. So what you need to look at is your whole marketing strategy as a speaker. Now, if you're a business owner, an expert, an influencer that speaks, it's the same. What is the value that you bring to the table that's different from the rest? Okay, think about that for a second. What is the value you bring to the table that's different from the rest? because that is what is going to help you navigate. And if you're not sure and you can't do it in one sentence, then either we need to work together or you need to go back and do it. Your connection statement, I help blah do blah, by blah, that connection statement is going to help differentiate you. If you're going to talk like the rest of the coaches out there, then you'll get very little. But if you stand above the coaches out there, you'll get more. If you're a fashion stylist and you sound different from other stylists, then you're more likely to get the speaking opportunities, a recruitment consultant, whatever it is, a creative, a CEO, an MD that's talking about their thought leadership. If you're standing above the rest with your messaging, with your value, then you're more likely to get the booking. Think of someone in your space. Why are there someone in this space? For example, I work with an incredible woman, and she specializes in spas, right? She works in spas, and she helps them increase the return on investment by having a spa in a hotel, right? She is very much at the beginning of her journey, fair enough. So she's been paid 2,000 euros here and there, while there's one other person in her space that's getting 10,000 per gig. Why? What's the difference? Is my client better or worse than the one that's getting 10,000 pounds? Or is it simple, the fact that people right now are able to see her value a bit more than the person I've started working with? You decide, right? So that's the importance of knowing your value. Okay, so highlight the value that you can provide, that you bring to the table, what makes you more giraffe and makes you different. Okay. The other thing, of course, is being creative. What else could you add to speaking that will help you make money or get you booked or demonstrate your value? What are the different entry points you could add in? Virtual speaking, of course, is one of them. Hybrid speaking is another. Speaking at venues or events you wouldn't typically speak at that might have your audience. So again, we're partnered up with a networking company now. I'm happy to almost announce, not going to say who yet until everything is signed, right? And I'm partnered up with a big creative community, right? Would I typically go and have speaking opportunities in those circles? Not always. But because within that are my clients, experts, authorities within their space, I am partnered up with them. Partnerships is a very creative way to get more speaking opportunities as well, right? How can you be creative right now in this space around getting booked more? So that's another one. So we've had 6 over the 8 or so far. I know, I like, oh my God, Elliot, these are golden nuggets. How did I not notice? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think that warrants a little bit of a boogie. What do you think, people? Should we get some boogie? Let's get boogie. Ready? Here we go. Yeah. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Yeah. 2 left. Boom. The other one I want to talk about that is kind of a bonus on, let's see, it's a bonus on seeing the value about being creative and your expertise is awards. Dun, dun, dun. Awards. Dun, dun, dun. Win awards. Go for awards. Enter awards. Of course, the Speaker Awards is coming up on the 7th of July, UK time, and the waiting list is probably open as we speak. But awards is a big thing, right? It helps you get booked. It helps demonstrate your value. It helps demonstrate why you above the rest. So awards, let's put it in there as well. So 2 more left. We've had 6. Network. Build a strong online presence. Offer free or low speaking opportunities. Be flexible with your pricing. Show your value. We've had be creative, as I am with my moves and my grooves when I play the tunes. 7. Here's the thing. I want you to really think about this right now. And I do talk about this, and I'll keep banging on about this because this is for every speaker, influencer out there who wants to secure speaking opportunities, especially now. You've got to tailor your talks, right, to align with the current economic climate, right? You've got to tailor your talks and your content to align with the current economic climate and demonstrate how it benefits your audience. I know that's obvious, but you'll be surprised how many speakers simply have a one talk that they deliver a one way and they only do it a this way because they're not flexible, right? And they're not tailoring it for the same, they're not tailoring it for the audience. So, again, example, someone reaches out to me and says, I'm representing my boss and he would like more speaking opportunities. He's written like 10 books. He's very credible. Here's his details. Here's his show reel. So I looked at the show reel and I said it was a very good show. And I simply asked, I said, listen, can I ask how old that show reel is, please? And she said, oh, it's probably about 5 years old. I'm like, oh, okay. So you are promoting yourself on content and a show reel that's 5 years old. Well, yes, it's worked brilliantly up until a couple of years ago. Exactly. Exactly. A couple of years ago. How much has the world changed in the last 2 years alone? So, of course, he wasn't getting any gigs because it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't tailored to the current situation. So, the thing is, when you're thinking about your talks and things like that, you should probably update your talks regularly, at least every 6 months. And the same goes with your show reel and your website needs to be updated every 6 to 12 months, period. Does it cost a bit of money? It does cost a bit of money. But is it worth it? It is. So, you need to look like you're current and you're relevant, and there's a benefit to the audience now. Too many speakers, influencers, people out there, thought leaders do not tailor their content, and therefore they get left behind. It's a bit like, Apple releasing one version of iPhone and that's it. They don't upgrade, they don't tweak, they don't better the software, they don't better the user experience, they don't better the whole exterior. It's just like, look, guys, we're Apple. Boom, here's our phone. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. And then, of course, competitors would wipe the floor with them, but they don't. They continuously releasing one to the other, to the next, 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 to the next. Right? As a speaker, you should be doing pretty much the same. You should be continuously reviewing it. You should be tweaking it. You should be changing the look. You should be changing the feel. You should be adding stories, tweaking your content. Now, especially now in the downtown, I know as I'm recording, it's Blue Monday here in the UK. It's got to demonstrate the value to the audience now. Okay. It's got to demonstrate how it's relevant to their pain now. So, is it time to tweak or tailor your content? Right. And the last one is, this is a big one. And this is a lot of people in the influential space, the expert space, a lot of them fall down here. Right. And it's this: they don't follow up. So even if you do the first one right, and I talked about networking online, offline, you make the initial content. Hey, look at me. Woo, I can speak for you. Do you want me to speak for you? Yes, I do. Nothing. Tumbleweed. You wait, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. I don't know. You wait, and boom, they don't respond to you anymore. Boom, the opportunity's gone. Boom, you've passed the time they needed you to book you in for. So, follow has got to be a huge part of your journey. Full stop. Full part of your journey, right? So, when you are not following up, you're leaving money on the table. You're also, it's a bit like, me having a conversation, go, hey, and yeah, I'd love to speak for you. And you respond going, yes. And I walk away. Elliot, I'd love to book you. And then I come back a week later expecting you to be in the same spot. It's a bit ridiculous, right? When you put it like that. If I was having a conversation with anyone watching or listening and we were face to face and I went, hey, Bob, do you want me to be one of your speakers? Bob says, yes, I do, Elliot. And then I just turn around and walk away. And then I come back a week later. Bob's not there. Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Right? It's like, it doesn't make sense in the physical world. It's the same with the online world. Plus, in the online world, people are going to get a lot more distracted. Because, my inbox fills up loads on LinkedIn, right? So I'm now treating that like a secondary inbox. So I need to take time out every day to deal with my inbox on LinkedIn. And I am very happy with that. Okay. But I also know that if I don't get back to people quickly, then they're just going to go to the bottom of the pile. And that isn't right. That's not right. That's bad conduct. Bad conduct. Right. So your follow up is a imperative, massive part of this journey. And that is one of the biggest strategies I can give you is follow out proactively, outreach proactively, send people messages proactively, if not weekly, daily. Okay. Because that is what's going to help you secure speaking opportunities during the recession. So let's have a quick recap when it comes to it. Right. So we talked about building on a strong online presence. We talked about offering free or low speaking opportunities, right? We talked about flexibility with your pricing. And I know there's some people that outright like, no, I'm okay with that, right? Show your value. That's what's going to get you above other people. Be creative. What can you do that's different? How can you offer other ways to access you as a speaker, as an influencer? Tailor your pitch, all right? Tailor your pitch and your content. Tailor your content, tailor your pitch, tailor it so it's about the economic climate now and your audience. When I talk about tailoring your pitch, how you pitch to event organizers and bookers, right? I talked about awards as well. Enter awards, win awards, show that you're different from the rest because peers have voted you to be so. And then, of course, follow up, keep in touch with potential bookers, with potential organizers, keep the relationship warm. Don't expect them to fall over, go, oh my God, yes. And they're going to follow up with you again and again because you're that important. I promise you, even the most established speakers out there who make a lot of money are not that important to the sense that they don't need to respond and do outreach. There's very, very few that reached out, tiny percent of the 1%. I get it. There's people that can sit back. Right, that was my chair sitting back. That was the noise. Ready? Should I do it again? Yep. And just have these opportunities pour into them. There's very few. Most have to proactively maintain relationships and keep in touch and do outreach. Okay. So I hope these strategies helped you, supported you. What I'd love to hear is what one of them, whether you're watching it now, listening now, or you later, or you come across this podcast later on, what's the one strategy, if not all of them, that you're going to go straight away to win speaking opportunities for you right now during the recession, during the downturn, during tough times, whatever you want to call it. Let's do this. And even if you don't believe in the recession and you don't believe in Blue Monday when this is being recorded and you don't believe all these things, what is the one thing you are going to do to get yourself a speaking opportunity? All right. So this is Elliot. Thank you very much for tuning in, for listening. Of course, we record an episode a week. That's right, an episode a week. And we release an episode a week. So make sure you are following us on all the major platforms. Make sure that you are commenting. Make sure you click that alert button when you get a new opportunity. Make sure you send us a comment and make sure you give us a 5-star review. That'd be great. And if you do, we will send you a little present back. Present back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Elliot K. If I can support you in any way to help your influence impact even more people, and if I can help you stand out, be more giraffe, then please do reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. Till the next time, be seen, be heard, and always be more giraffe. Till next time. Bye.